Brothers and sisters, there's a seal right there. Okay, I highly doubt these are unstable. I know they are very stable, universe, because the universe will always protect me. Alright, I don't know, man. I know the universe will protect me, of course. I do know that. So put a little faith in the universe, then, James. Put faith into the universe, because word is bond. Brothers and sisters, I'm under a rock. I'm between a rock and a rock right here. You thought I was gonna say hard place. No, I didn't know. So, brothers and sisters, there's something I want to tell you that I'm learning on my experience, on my journey, that I really sincerely want to share with you. And that is the importance of going with the flow. Yes, you gotta go with the flow. You know, this is also like a reminder to myself. When I watch this movie, when I watch this video in the past, I'm gonna look and reflect on myself and say, wow, he's really in a right frame of mind. So sometimes you just gotta be like water. You have to go with the flow, because if you resist, wow, I just heard a wave roar. Right now, just wait, I'll show you in a sec. Here, look, I'll peek the camera out. You see? Yes. Water. You have to be like water. You need to trickle down like water. Because when you go with the flow and when you put your hand in some, let's say, okay, we're putting my hand in some water, okay? But there's no water there. Let's just pretend. What does it do? It surrounds all of my hand, right? Water. So water is flexible. It's kind of like a chameleon, I would say. And to be flexible, you gotta be prepared mentally. You have to be prepared physically. Very important. And you have to know how important it is mentally and physically to become prepared for anything in life. I'm not just talking about my journey, I'm talking about your journey too at this point. But you gotta be like water and surround yourself with goodness, positive vibes. I mean, you can go on, there's something called shadow work. Holy shit, you hear that? Holy cow, Mother Nature don't play. Shadow work, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really know too much about shadow work, but I have a feeling I need to look it up. Yeah, there's some really fucking nice rocks, man. Yeah, so it's important to be like water, and there are several more reasons I could share with you. For example, I mean, water always goes in the same direction. Okay, you don't see water going against each other, right? Okay, so water's going downstream. You don't see water necessarily coming straight upstream, but you will see things along the way. A little twirl, like, you know what I mean? Like, no, take that out. You don't know what I mean. You know what I mean. Exactly, you know what I mean. I'm talking about water and how important it is to be like water. I got this, man. Call me the chemist. Also, okay, I have an idol. I actually have an idol. I don't like that word idol. I always say icons. But my idol, besides Martin Luther King, of course, is Alan Watts. And he had something interesting to say. And then you'll just say, it feels so good to be an indigo child. And you'll be like,
you feel
woo!
When you feel
Yeah, I just got wet.
What do you do
see if I can get out.
when somebody says, pay attention? What is the difference between looking at something and taking a hard look at it? Or between hearing something and listening intently? What's the difference? What's the difference between waiting while something goes on and enduring it? Why? The difference is this, that when you pay attention, instead of just looking, you screw up your face, you frown and stare. That is a muscular activity around here. When you will, you grit your teeth or clench your fists. When you endure or control yourself, you pull yourself together physically, and therefore you get uptight. You hold your breath. You do all kinds of muscular things to control the functioning of your nervous system. And none of them have the slightest effect on the proper operation of the nervous system. If you stare at things, you will rather fuzz the image than see them clearly. If you listen intently by concentrating on muscles round the ears, you will be so much attending to muscles here that you won't hear things properly. And you may get singing in the ears. If you tighten up with your body to pull yourself together, all you do is constrict yourself. I remember in school, I sat next to a boy who had great difficulty in learning to read. And what they always say to children is, try. If you can't do something, you must try. So the boy tries.
You know,
and what has he done? When he's trying to get out words, he
when I hear myself talk,
as if he were lifting weights.
I realize.
And the teacher's impressed. The boy is really trying. Gives him B for effort.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's doing
that. Not only does my opinion matter.
Has nothing to do with it.
My voice is sharp.
Now we all make this muscular strain
with
the thought that it's achieving psychological results. The sort of psychological results it's intended to achieve. Now all this amounts to is it's like you're taking off in a jet plane. You've got a mile down the runway and the thing isn't up in the air yet and you get nervous. So you start pulling at your seatbelt. That's what it is. Now that is a chronic feeling. We have it in us all the time and it corresponds to the word I. That's what you feel when you say I. You feel that chronic tension because when an organ is working properly, you don't.
I just want to say thanks and praise.
If you see your eye,
you've
got cataract.
Stay kosher. Be blessed.
If you hear your ears, you've got singing in your ears.
Don't forget to love and subscribe by now if you haven't.
When you are fully functioning, you are unaware of the organ.
Woo!
When you're thinking clearly, your brain isn't getting in your way. Actually, of course, you are seeing your eyes in the sense that everything you see out in front of you is a condition in the optic nerves at the back of the skull. That's where you're aware of all this. But you're not aware of the eye as the eye. I'm talking about the optical eye. So when we are aware of the ego eye, we are aware of this chronic tension inside ourselves. And that's not us. It's a futile tension. So when we get the illusion, the image of ourselves, married to a futile tension, you've got an illusion married to a futility. And then you wonder why I can't do anything. Why I feel in the face of all the problems of the world impotent. And why I somehow cannot manage to transform I. Now here we get to the real problem. Because we're always telling each other that we should be different. Now I'm not going to tell you that tonight. Why not? Because I know you can't be. Nor can I. That may sound depressing, but I'll show you it isn't. It's very heartening. But everybody, you see, who is at all sensitive and awake to their own problems and human problems is trying to change himself. We know we can't change the world unless we change ourselves. If we are all individually selfish, we're going to be collectively selfish. If we don't really love people and only pretend to, somehow we've got to find a way to love. After all, it's said in the Bible, thou shalt love the Lord thy God and your neighbor as yourself. You must love. Yeah, we all agree. Sure. But we don't. In fact, one psychologist very smartly asked a patient, with whom are you in love against? And this particularly becomes appalling when we enter into the realm of higher things, by which I mean spiritual development. Everybody these days is interested in spiritual development. And wisely, because we want to change our consciousness. Many people
There's
are well
waves
aware
here
that this
every
egocentric
day.
consciousness is a hallucination. And that they presume it's the function of religion to change it. Because that's what the Zen Buddhists
Look at
and
that,
yogis
right.
and all
What?
these people
And
in the
left.
Orient are
What
doing.
the fuck?
They're changing their state of consciousness to get something called satori, or mystical experience, or nirvana, or moksha, or what have you. And everybody around here is really enthused about that.
Okay,
because,
if you don't know this by now,
you don't
I
get
am
that
not
in church.
used to seeing perfect waves every day.
I mean,
okay?
there have been Christian
Surfers probably
mystics,
think it's
but
funny,
the church has been
huh?
very quiet about
Well,
it.
hey, I'm from South Florida. We don't get swell. We get wind chop. And wind chop is not...
In the average church, all you get is talk.
This is swell, and that's our marriage.
There's no meditation,
Fucking right,
no
man.
spiritual discipline. They tell God what to do interminably, as if he
Yeah, I'm
didn't
in
know.
heaven.
And then they tell the people
Heaven.
what to do, as if they could or
I
even
made it to
wanted to.
heaven.
And then they sing religious nursery rhymes. And then, to cap it all, the Roman Catholic Church, which did at least have an unintelligible service, which was... which was, you know, it was real mysterious and suggested vast magic going on. They went and put the thing into bad English. And they took away incense, and they became a bunch of Protestants, and the thing was just terrible. So now all these Catholics are at loose ends. As Claire Booth Luce put it, not to be a pun, but she said, you know, it's no longer possible to practice contemplative prayer at Mass. Because you're being advised, exhorted, edified all the time.
Yeah, artwork.
And it becomes a bore. Think of God listening to all those prayers. We're talking about grieving the Holy Spirit.
Okay. Welcome to my
It's just awful. People have no consideration for God at all.
I'm so happy all the time. The Mecca of art. We are in the Mecca of art, baby.
But in pursuing these
We're the
spiritual
Mecca
disciplines, yoga and Zen and
Of
so
art,
forth,
baby. Isn't it
and
so beautiful?
also psychotherapy,
With the
there
bang.
comes up a big difficulty. And the big difficulty is this. I want to find a method whereby I can change my consciousness.
We are at the Mecca of art.
But therefore to improve myself. But
Yeah,
the
buddy.
self that needs
The
to be
Mecca
improved is the
of
one
art.
that is doing the improving. And so I'm rather stuck. I find out the reason that I think I believe, say, in God,
Brothers and sisters.
is that
LA.
I
My set.
sure hope that
Part of my
somehow God will rescue me.
One thing
In
I
other
really
words,
love
I want to hang on to my own existence.
is this.
And I feel
piece of
rather
art right
shaky
here.
about doing that for
Why
myself,
do you
but I
ask?
just hope there's a God who'll take care of it.
Because I forgot what
Or
they're called.
if I
Those
could be
things?
loving,
They're all seeds being spread
I would have a
into the
better
universe.
opinion.
So when you blow on one of those and make a wish, really you're just blowing seeds
I'd feel better about it. I could face
into the
myself,
universe.
people say.
That's what I'm doing now.
If I
I'm
were
planting
more
my
loving.
seeds
So
to the
the
universe.
unloving me,
And they're going to be
somehow, by
positive
some
seeds. You
gimmick,
better believe
has
that.
to turn itself into a loving me, and this is just like trying to lift
Run it
yourself
like you
off the
want it,
ground
right?
with your own bootstraps.
They're going to be
It can't be
positive
done.
seeds all
And that's
day,
why
every day.
religion, in
Positive
practice, mainly
seeds.
produces hypocrisy and guilt
Yeah, but this art's sweet though, huh?
because of the constant failure of these enterprises.
Welcome.
Oh, people
Oh
go
my
and study
God.
Zen. And they come back and say, wow, getting
out
rid
here,
of your
baby.
ego is a superhuman task. I assure you it's going
Right
to be
here,
very,
move,
very
baby.
difficult to get rid of your ego.
And what's got
You're going to
nobody's
have to
got
sit
nothing
for a
to
long
say.
time and you're going to get the sorest legs.
Yeah.
It's hard work. And all you wretched kids who think you're getting rid of your ego on part or something or other and easy yoga, you don't know what you're in for when it really comes down to the nitty-gritty. Well, you know, the biggest ego trip going is getting rid of your ego. And the joke of it all is your ego